Hey everybody, welcome to part 5 of my travel vlog / review of my honeymoon vacation in the Bahamas at the Viva Wyndham all-inclusive resort. If you haven't seen parts 1 through 4 of this video series, make sure you click this annotation or the link in the description below. That'll take you to a playlist of all the videos in this series so far. This should be the last installment of this series, so let's jump right in. Last time I promised sharks, and if you saw my thumbnail, you came here looking for sharks. Well yes, on day 5 we went swimming with sharks. I wanted to get video footage of this, but seeing as I didn't yet have a GoPro, I had no way of filming it. Thankfully the dive instructor got some footage. Some. Oh man, looks like a funhouse mirror. Let me tell you, this was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, because I will never do it again. The sharks were fine, I wasn't even scared of the sharks. The problem I had was the way the whole ordeal was handled. Basically, there were more than 10 snorkelers and probably at least that many scuba divers on our boat. The divers take classes over several days to earn a dive certificate and learn how to safely dive with sharks. Snorkelers are given a mask, a snorkel, a wetsuit, flippers, and a 3-foot piece of PVC pipe to poke sharks with. When we got out to the part of the ocean where the sharks were, we were told to jump in the water and grab the rope. One end of the rope is tied to a buoy, and the other end tied to the boat. We were given some direction about what not to do if we wanted to avoid getting our hands bit off, and then we were basically left alone in the water for 40 minutes. This is not to say you're unsupervised. The captain of the boat watches over everybody to make sure nothing goes wrong, and anyone can get back on the boat anytime they want, or so we were told. The sharks stayed down deep in the water, so there's no real danger of getting attacked. Plus, they're reef sharks, so they're not really interested in anything as big as they are. The divers go down and interact with the sharks directly, snorkelers stay at the surface and watch from above. Which would be fun if the water was anywhere near calm. Now, I'm not trying to blame anybody for the conditions of the ocean, I know nobody has control over that, but it's not a fun experience to hang on to what was maybe a 10-foot rope, crowded in super choppy water, with 10 plus people all trying to look down into the water wearing big-ass flippers and carrying 3-foot pipes as a boat bounces on the waves right next to your head. Also, the snorkel would have to be about 3 feet longer to be of any use. As it was now, the waves basically turned your snorkel into a giant straw, perfect for sucking large amounts of salt water into your mouth. I basically decided to stop using my snorkel and just held my breath and looked in the water, as I could hold my breath a lot longer than I could use the snorkel before being force-fed a saltwater cocktail. After about 30 minutes of enduring incredibly rough water, all of the snorkelers got tired and we made our way back onto the boat. We unzipped our wetsuits and felt pretty good about what we had just done. Sure, the conditions weren't great, and 40 minutes, while probably a cakewalk for the divers below, was way too long to endure the conditions of the surface, but we all got to see sharks. Sharks that were swimming maybe 20 feet below us. It was fun, we had a great time. Then the diving instructor got back on the boat and was seriously pissed off. Apparently we were supposed to snorkel for 40 minutes and then swim to the back of the boat where the dive instructor was going to bring a shark up close for us to interact with. And that might have been fun. My wife says that being that close to a shark might have made her uncomfortable, but okay, we missed out. No big deal, right? Wrong. This dude went off on us like we just let his newborn baby crawl onto a busy highway. I seriously haven't been yelled at like that since I was a little kid. It just totally ruined the experience for us. Until that moment, we were having a blast talking about how we had just seen sharks, it was great, and then he got on the boat and just totally killed the mood. I seriously haven't been yelled at like that since I was a little kid. I might have recommended this adventure with the advice of waiting for calmer tides, but this guy totally ruined it for us. Instead of being happy about how awesome it had been to see sharks up close, we got chastised by some guy we didn't even know. After that, instead of spending the rest of the day recapping how awesome it was to see sharks in person, we spent the rest of the day talking about how big of an asshole that guy was. I can understand if we had done something dangerous, but we didn't. We just got back on the boat, which he had told us we could do at any time. I mean, this would be like paying to go to Disneyland and then having Mickey Mouse scream at you because you closed your eyes during the drop on Splash Mountain. So yeah, swimming with sharks is a lot of fun, just don't go with an asshole and try to go on a nice calm day. Now some of you might be thinking that it's our fault and we should have listened to the instructions a little more carefully, but when every single snorkeler misunderstood his instructions the exact same way, I'd say the breakdown of communication was on his part. Seriously, the sharks were never even a threat, but that guy bit my head off. Their sign should say, snorkel with sharks, free saltwater cleanse and awkward confrontation with every purchase. Now just $75 a person. As I had mentioned before, on our last night we were denied our dinner reservations and choked down one last buffet dinner before deciding to go exploring a bit. On our way to and from the Port Lucaya marketplace, we had noticed what looked like a condemned building nearby, so we decided to go check it out. It was just a short walk from the resort and it was really cool to explore. I suspect it was going to be a small hotel or maybe an apartment building. On the taxi ride to the airport the following afternoon, we asked the cab driver and he confirmed the building was never finished because because it didn't meet code requirements. The next day we packed our bags, checked out of our hotel room, and spent the rest of the day waiting. At the Freeport airport it started to rain. This was the first time it had rained the entire time we were there. Since we hadn't eaten yet and everybody was getting kind of hungry, we decided to use the airport's Wi-Fi to find nearby restaurants. Sure enough, there was a Burger King nearby. So since we had about 4 hours to kill, my brother and I decided to go on a little adventure to find this Burger King in the rain. Turns out even in the Bahamas, homeless people are drawn to me for some reason. While we were walking there, this homeless guy came out of nowhere and decided to be our escort, even though we were doing just fine on our own. He walked us all the way to Burger King, and since we kind of felt bad about it, we bought him some food. It was at that point he decided he wanted to be our best friend and was not going to leave us alone. So we spent the entire walk back to the airport trying to politely go our separate ways, as he not so politely insisted on following us and telling us to go to Subway. He also had a weird catchphrase that sounded like, "Ay, ay, 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 ay," which he would say loudly and randomly for no apparent reason. So we got back to the airport and our flight home was just a disaster. The flight from the Bahamas to Miami was incredibly bumpy and rough for some reason, and then our American Airlines flight from Miami to Las Vegas was delayed by 3 hours. So by the time we got on the plane, we should have been about halfway home. To make matters worse, my stepdaughter was on a flight from Texas to Vegas, and our flights were originally scheduled to arrive at the same time. But now that our flight had been delayed, she would have to wait 3+ hours for us to arrive. Then we land in Las Vegas and find out American Airlines lost my brother's luggage. Well, him and about 5 or 6 other people. So they find us sitting in Miami and tell us it'll be delivered to our hotel room no later than 10 a.m., which apparently means 3:30 p.m., which wouldn't really be a problem if we didn't have to check out of our room by noon and if we didn't have a 2.5-hour drive ahead of us. Long story short, the Viva Wyndham gets a B, the dive shop gets a D, Odenza Marketing gets an F, American Airlines gets an F++, and the Bahamas in general gets an A+. The gorgeous beaches, the warm water, the nice people, the complete lack of traffic lights, it's all fantastic. Sure, the Freeport airport feels like a holdover from the 1950s, and the taxi service is a little concerning at first, but the bottom line is the place is awesome and I hope to go back someday. Though no offense, Grand Bahamas, I'll probably visit another island. I really want to visit the pigs. I was so excited about doing that, and then I found out they were super far away from where we were staying, and it wouldn't be possible, which made me so sad. So that was my honeymoon vacation in the Bahamas. Overall, I had a blast. I got a tan, I got to spend some great quality time with my new wife, I got to go swimming with sharks, I drank way too much, I drank even more salt water, and I found a brand new favorite alcoholic drink, so move over, Tennessee, honey. Aw, you'll always be special to me. Anyway, I hope this series of videos has helped people out there who are getting ready to book a vacation to the Viva Wyndham Resort. If you are on your way there and you found this video helpful, make sure you leave a comment down below. As always, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, as that does help me out a lot. And I'll be sure to do more travel vlogs as I go different places and do different things that I think you guys might be interested in. Until then, keep being awesome.